Ladies and gentlemen, very much welcome. My name is Peter Ejemyr and I am the Vice President of Investor Relations at White Pearl Technology Group. I'm in a studio in Stockholm and today I have the pleasure of talking to Marco Marangoni, our CEO of White Pearl. I say good morning to you since you are in South America. And I say good afternoon to Ebrahim, founder and strategic advisor to the company, currently in South Africa. Welcome to you both. Before we discuss the future prospects of the company, let's take just 1 minute for a short recap. Marco, how would you describe White Pearl in 30 seconds?
White Pearl Group is an amazing global technology group, already with presence in more than 30 countries, and with more than 37 to be a really detailed business unit across these countries. And we're strongly focused in digital transformation, artificial intelligence projects, cybersecurity, and this is something is driving us and created us the condition to have in 2024 an important revenue in terms of more than 300 million SEK, 310 million SEK, and with a growth around 39%. So what we have more than 250 customers, clients between public and private sector. So I think and the trend is going forward because in Q1 we also had an EBITDA with a growth of more than 87%. So it's a really high potential group.
How many IT professionals do we have in the group?
Well, after the last acquisition in Sweden and in the Nordics, the last 2 acquisitions, today we have more than 750 employees. But I'm personally working in the hirings of more people, so it's still growing, this number.
Ebrahim, you founded the company in 2019 out of United Arab Emirates and South Africa. What does the name White Pearl stands for?
That's a very interesting question, Peter. Actually, White Pearl represents for us something rare and valuable, which we basically create through expertise over time. Just like the pearl develops over time, we've been able to develop layers and layers of expertise in technology. For us, the white symbolizes clarity, transparency, and I think that's really how we strive to operate and grow the business. So that's what White Pearl means.
And how come the company is listed in the Swedish stock market?
I think Sweden, Stockholm for us made sense on a number of dimensions. The first one is that Sweden is a high-tech industry, a high-tech company, and home to numerous technology businesses globally. Spotify comes to mind in terms of this, Klarna as well. We think also that the regulatory environment in Sweden provides the kind of governance and compliance required to grow global IT businesses. The third point is that some of the businesses we acquired initially had some presence in Sweden through people, and I think that's how the interest for us in the Swedish market opened up.
And speaking of growth, let us look at the aggressive goals you and your team have set for the company. In 2028, 3 years from now, you expect to almost triple revenue to 827 million SEK while remaining highly profitable with an EBITDA over 17%. Marco, is this really doable?
Yes, it's absolutely achievable in 2025. Just to think that in Q1, the performance was around 16%, 61, just 60.1, just to be detailed. as a EBITDA margin. So this is the highest margin we had until now. So we have all the conditions to have another great result. So I'm really confident. I'm really confident we can do that.
This fast growth, do you expect this, Ebrahim, to come organically or from acquisitions?
I think from both. Historically, the growth we've had in White Pearl has come through acquisitions and organically. We expect that trajectory to continue into the future. Organically, we're seeing significant demand for our services in the spaces of AI, big data, cybersecurity, as well as then the ability to then sell end-to-end solutions, incorporating the new technology, as well as some of the old, more established solutions, such as enterprise solutions. So hence, we see a combination of this driving our business. I think our numbers show testament to that. Recent acquisitions we've done in Sweden, as an example, have added a significant amount of revenue, up to 130, 140 million SEK to the group. But we've also saw significant growth in our regions, Africa, in the Middle East, that continue to contribute significantly to the growth that we see and that we expect to continue into the next couple of years.
But when acquiring companies, adding to a group, it can sometimes be hard to maintain profitability. Are you only planning to buy profitable companies? And isn't that very expensive?
Look, we've always bought profitable companies. And in fact, White Pearl, through its history, has always been profitable from day one. So I think profit is basically embedded into the culture, into the structure of how we operate as White Pearl. We identify businesses that we feel at a minimum are at least profitable, and we would rather pay a little bit extra for the acquisition, knowing that the chance of business failure is then circumvented. So hence, profitability for us at the center of everything we do, both organically and inorganically, and that will continue to drive our acquisition strategy.
Shareholders in fast-growing companies that acquire other businesses are often worried about hefty dilution. And your board has given a wide mandate from the AGM to issue new shares. How worried should we shareholders be about dilution, Marco?
Actually, yes. In the last AGM, we took the measure to have the potential to issue new shares, but it is just a measure to be ready in case we will find the right opportunity. It doesn't mean we will use all these shares. This is the first point. Second point, it's absolutely important to say that if we start doing this kind of operation, it's because we will to give more value to the group. The purpose is to also grow, is not to diluting the value of the group. So we probably have a small dilution, but I'm sure I want to be absolutely clear that there is no risk we will have a high dilution. This is what I would like to say to the shareholders. It's just a measure because we are always ready to find the right opportunities in terms of acquisition in the market, and this is our instrument to do that, to make this acquisition.
And I understand that, Ebrahim, you are one of the persons that are actively looking for acquisition targets. And what kind of companies are you looking for?
Our first criteria, Peter, is to basically look for companies that complement what we already have or are able to give us access to markets and industries that we believe will be growing into the future and to be able to add shareholder value. So at the moment, we've obviously completed quite a significant acquisitive phase in the Nordics. We probably expect that to continue in the Nordics, Europe, into the next while. We are looking at targets in Latin America where we see significant growth into the future, as well as then slightly abroad with regards to Southeast Asia and Asia, where we also see an ability to create synergistic values with the rest of our group. In terms of core competencies, we're looking at the fields of AI, cybersecurity, as well as applications that we currently don't fully represent in the group. That's basically the focus that we are looking at.
And if I can ask you, Ebrahim, if you look at the group as a whole, what is the most important risks to look out for? All business is risky, and growing business may have their risks. But what do you see as the potential risks for the group?
I think that working capital utilization in the group is obviously an area which I know Marco and the management team, the CFO, Chetan, spend a lot of time looking at. When you're growing as fast as White Pearl are growing, ultimately your working capital usage is, increasing. That's one. Secondly, the ability for us to raise capital and debt in the markets in which we operate is something that we've started looking at, but historically our debt ratios are extremely low. So I believe one of the risks that the group faces from a capital structure perspective is that the increased demand on working capital needs to be appropriately managed as we basically continue scaling the group and as we focus on Vision 2028.
A more personal question, since the company was listed on First North here in Sweden, you as a founder have been taking a little bit more drawn back role towards the financial market, but that is about to change.
That's correct. I had some legal issues with my previous employer that I guess temporarily restricted my ability to be involved significantly with White Pearl. I'm happy to announce that those issues have been resolved completely without any liability to any party. It was a frustrating time for me not being able to engage directly with the business, with the management. However, we are now in a very exciting period, and I'm really delighted to be able to increase my involvement in the business as we move forward.
Excellent. And talking about exciting period, Marco, let us shift the focus a bit to the near future. The company will publish the Q2 and H1 report on 6th of August, but you have already issued a business update, taking the guessing out of the game, so to say. You project revenue in the first half year of 25 in the range of 185 to 195 million SEK compared to last year's 139 million SEK. What has been the most proficient driver of this increase as you see it?
I'm still, I would like to, again, to underline again the importance to have artificial intelligence and cybersecurity as the main areas to achieve our results, to achieve our targets. They are the main side in terms of they will provide a huge contribution. But also, I think it's important to say what is the contribution coming from the Nordics, because our new acquisitions are also giving us more push in order to achieve targets. And finally, it's also important to say the importance of to talk about the importance about our IPs, our production, our products, our platforms, what we are currently distributing in different areas, and they are also creating a really good, also an additional good condition in terms to have a really nice organic growth. But in a nutshell, it's the mixed landscape between organic and inorganic. what we will give us all the condition to achieve our targets and to make that everything will be fine according to our plans.
So is it fair to say that, in summary, both product mix and geographical mix are helping us maintain or even improve margins?
Yeah, exactly. So this the big picture, including the new trend, the new activities we are developing, we are providing in the main areas, especially in the Middle East or in Africa. And now we are moving these activities also in the Nordics and in new countries, in our new countries where we are just starting, like such as Latin America and maybe in the future in North America. This activity will be absolutely key, and and we are sure that this is something that will create the condition we are really looking for in order to have our a strong development, a strong growth for this year and for the next few years.
And Ebrahim, from a strategic perspective, can you elaborate a little bit on this and explain how our proprietary IP, our own software, etc., may transform or develop the company going forward?
Sure. I mean, the company has made it clear to the market that we've been shifting away from traditional services to our own IP, which we know is high margin. I think the various proprietary platforms we've been developing, the big data, the AI platforms, have been significantly improving the margins we've been obtaining over the last periods. I think you can see from the Q1 numbers where EBITDA has now hit a record 16.1%, which is significantly more than what we've done in the past. And that trend is being driven primarily with us selling more of our own IP, our own solutions into customers across the world. And I mean, we see that trend accelerating over the next couple of years, and hence the improved EBITDA margins that we see happening for the 2028 vision.
That sounds very exciting. With this, I want to thank both Ebrahim and Marco for your time and for your valuable insights. If you, the viewer, has any questions you want to put to Ebrahim or Marco or anyone else in the company, you are welcome to email them to ir@whitepearltech.com, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. All the best to you, and goodbye for now.